welcome to 2020. It's going to be some getting used to, new decade. Karen Hadley here from stampingbees.co.nz. Firstly, I'd like to hope everyone had a fantastic festive season and all ready to start a new year of crafting. I know I am, and it's so exciting because the new catalogue, the new mini catalogue is out, and the first stamp set I'd like to share with you is Honeybee, of course. I'm sure you all would know that would be my first go-to. So let's get started. I will flip you over, and I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. Yes, as I was saying, welcome back. Happy New Year. As you probably saw from my intro, I was actually outside on my deck and letting you have a view of my view from the deck, which I thought you might quite like, or the bush, etc. So when I said flip over, I wasn't really flipping over as such. So we are now back in my work area, and I'm really keen to show you this stamp set and dies. So I'll just grab the stamp set and dies that will be. So that is the stamp set, and of course Honeybee had to present something with this stamp set. I've been having a play since last month, and if you are a demonstrator, you can get things a month earlier, and that is exciting if you get a chance to be able to play with things and you get a discount. So lots of reasons to become a demonstrator. And these are the dies. The sad thing is I've been looking everywhere today and I have lost one of the small bees in this set. So I've manually cut out some things and I will have another good look. I've been through the rubbish twice, so a bit heartbroken about that, but that's okay. We'll just keep looking and feel positive about it. It's always quite upsetting when you lose something, isn't it? Okay, so this is the card that we're going to be doing. Just a couple of little changes. I don't think you want my hair. A couple of little changes. I'm going to be doing this in gold instead of white. Gosh, plane. Hello, plane. A bit loud today, isn't it? Must be quite low. Anyway, we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be using some of the pigment sprinkles. So great to get out of your comfort zone if you haven't used them already, but they really do give a beautiful, intense colour, which I just love, and perfect for the background for these bees. So let's get started. I will just, and I'll also show you the paper. So this is the paper that we're using. This is in the Celebrations catalogue, and if you spend 110, that's New Zealand dollars or more, you get this free. So we're basically using this sheet here, the bees and the flower. So all these have dies to cut them out, which is fantastic. But it is a beautiful set of papers. Gold, black and white basically is the colours. So you can colour backgrounds in, etc. if you'd like. So there's two of each pattern. And then of course, if you flip over, you get this gorgeous side, which is black and white basically. This one's flipped over the other side. As you can see, I've been using these quite a lot already. So the other side is the black and white, and the flip side that I was showing you originally has the gold embossing on it, which is gorgeous. So lots and lots of gorgeous options with that. Honeycomb gold, and then on the other side the bees and the beehive. Okay, so let's move this out to the way. Pop this over here. And so we are just going to start off with a basic thick Whisper White cardstock. And it'll be covered up, which is 21 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. Then we have some Daffodil Delight as the first mat, and that is 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And then we have the black jumping ahead of myself here. We have the black matte, which is 9.5 by 13.5. And then we have the shimmery white, which is 9 by 13. And it's the shimmery white that we're going to be working on. So first of all, we will get started with creating the background. I will just pop this mat on here so I don't get my work area dirty. So just bear with me 1 second. Okay, I'll pop that there. Turn on that side, I think. And I am going to use an aqua painter. Now this is the Pigment Sprinkles, and the colours are Bermuda Bay, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape, Mango Melody and Melon Mambo. We're going to be using the Daffodil Delight today. So I only really want it on this top corner here. So, actually that isn't what I want. I want the brush. So I'm just going to pre-dampen this. It's already got a bit of yellow on it. So I'll just get a, not that it really matters, but as you can see, it's so bright. It's you do have to sort of give it a good wipe afterwards. Otherwise, you've got quite a yellow stain, which is all right for this today. So just dampen it a little bit just before you put these on. So this is this Pigment Sprinkles. It's got a little lid to flip open, and then you have your holes, which is really great to keep it dry. With the other sprinkles, you had to put a safety pin in the top because you only need such a small amount to give a fantastic depth of colour. And if you put too much on, if you don't have the holes and you tip it up, of course you're going to get way too much than you really want. So having those little pinholes already put in is fantastic. Now I'm just going to make sure I squeeze a bit of ink on here, and mostly it's going to do the work all by itself. The water will move because we're using shimmery white, which is a gorgeous watercolour paper, which means that the ink just sits on the top and doesn't soak in so readily, and you can just move things around a bit, which is what we want. So there's no pattern or anything that you're wanting here. No, by pattern I mean it doesn't have to be any set way. I'm just doing the corner there, and I actually want a bit more dots around the place, so I'm just going to pop a little bit in here. Just a little bit. As I say, a little bit goes a long way. Just move that around a bit. Just move it round. But I want to get some dots on there. So this I would probably do with the when it's dry a bit, but I'll just do it now to show you. You can do it now as well, but just to give those splotches of colour around the place, which just adds the dimension. Now I did with this one that I've pre-done, add some black, so you can do that as well, just using this ink pad. So to get a bit of this yellow off, and just a few black. Where it goes into the yellow, of course, it does change colour a bit. But you can see why I've put something underneath, because it does tend to go everywhere when you flick it, which is a fantastic technique, but you just got to be prepared that you've got nothing around that it is going to get on. Okay, so the next thing I did, I used my Stamparatus, which is fantastic for making sure things are in the right place. And I'll just bring that over. So just pop that to one side. Actually, I'll just take that off. What I'll show you though, so that you need to obviously let it dry before you do anything else. So I will take this away. And I have obviously made something a bit earlier so that it is dry. I'm sure you don't want to sit here watching ink dry. And I have loaded that up on the Stamparatus. I just wanted to show you this technique first. Just using this bit of paper here. Now I wanted to make sure that I got the sentiment not only in the right place but straight. So a really good tip to doing that is, this was just a cheap $2 mat at the $2 shop, placemats, just clear, or you could use any kind of firmish clear plastic. And I've put C in the top so I know that that is the top right hand corner. And then what you do is you line it up to where you think the stamp will be in the right place. Then you just ink up. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's not actually on the card. Then you stamp, and with this you can, two ways you can see, well, it's a bit crooked, so you can move your paper accordingly till it's straight or in the right place, or you can move the stamp. It's often easier just to move the paper to line it up properly. And that shows you that, yep, that looks perfect where I've put it. And you go ahead, so you take away the sheet and then you stamp directly onto your paper. And it just means that you get it straight and you get it in the right place and you don't have to start all over again. I know I have done that a few times. So this is absolutely amazing for that. One of my go-tos. Okay, so I already did this with the pigment sprinkles and let it dry. It had some splotches on it, and I have done this ahead of time. Now this was embossed with the glimmery, sparkly black and Versamark. Now one thing to really make sure you do, in case there's any moisture left on the paper, it is to use your embossing buddy to really give it a good dry before you actually emboss, because the last thing you want is lots of black dots everywhere. Okay, so the next thing, so in the die set I have previously cut out 2 of these, which is the honeycomb, and we will pop these on. Okay, so I'm going to just have one there, so I'm going to do this so that it fits in together like that. So what I will do, see, that would be double there, which is not what we want. So I will get my paper scissors, and I am going to, where these 3 meet, so from there to there, so yep, just making sure I'm doing it right. I'll cut those off, and it just means there's only one layer, and you just join it up. So I'll pop a bit of glue on there. Right, I'm just going to use my fine tip glue for this, which is great for this sort of thing. So just, you don't need to put glue everywhere. I've decided to do my tutorial today with the garage door open, and the wind is blowing and things are being blown over and making a lot of noise. So I do apologise. That's why the plane sounded so loud. So I'm just dabbing. Doesn't, as I say, doesn't have to be everywhere. Just enough to secure it down. Make sure we get the same side. If not, we have to, yep. Oh, I have changed it around a bit. That's all right. There we go. That'll do. So that one's on there. Just takes a little longer to dry, the fine tip glue pen, I found, which is fine. It is very good once it's okay. And a little bit of this one. And we will pop this on. Make sure I get those edges for sure, to make sure they stick down right. And here we go. So I will turn it over. Let's give that a good press. So sadly, as I said, I have misplaced, oh, so sad, my die for the small bee, which we're using today. I'll keep looking. I have gone through the rubbish twice, etc. Unfortunately, I did use them before Christmas, and I use tape. I use washi tape to, I'm just trying to thread this into here. I use washi tape to tape it down so I get it straight. And I'm feeling that I have actually thrown out the washi tape and the bee was still stuck to it. So I have actually hand cut these for you today. So let's start putting this together. I will pop the black mat on. So you don't need much glue. Put that onto there. So exciting to be able to show you all these new products. And there's so many amazing things in this new mini catalogue. I just love it. Okay, so that's glued down. Make sure it's nice and straight. That's why I like glue. You can maneuver a little bit. Okay, and now we will pop this on. And we'll finish. So I'm just going to pop that there. Now, what I do is I cut out some of these honeycombs, and I always save, when you cut it out, the inside of the honeycomb is then like an extra. So I save them all. I've got some gold ones in there, orange, etc. So I just want some black ones today. So I then just grab some black ones and glue them in. And I'll just use my little poker tool. Just add a bit of interest to these little dots here, these little honeycomb bits, because in a real honeycomb, of course, there would be different colours and depths. You'd probably get orange, orange, black, etc. So when you cut out this honeycomb, just save the bits, don't throw them out, and use them to add a bit of interest to your honeycomb. Okay, and a bit more glue under there. And where should I put that one? Put that one there. Put that one there, put that one there. Doesn't really matter where you put them. And the gold one wanting to go in. Oops, might have to stick that honeycomb down a bit better later. Should have done a few of these before. But you get the idea. So I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and New Year. Where we live, we can walk along the ridge a bit and we can see the city, the Sky Tower, etc. A bit of a distance, but still, when the fireworks go up, it's just beautiful. And we could see the bridge fireworks as well, so it was really gorgeous. It managed to stay up to midnight, which is a feat in itself, and we spent a lovely day on New Year's Day at Wendellholme Beach, which is a beautiful spot. I think everyone in Auckland though thought it was a great idea because there was a lot of people. And for Christmas we went up to Dargaville and camped at Bailey's Beach, so we had a fantastic breakaway. Okay, so now my bees, 1, 2, I don't know where the third one's gone. After painstakingly cutting them out. It'll be in here, oh there it is. So I'm just going to colour these in. This is Daffodil Delight. I'll just put a bit of yellow on the bee. So really do give these pigment sprinkles a go. I think I did do another tutorial on using them, but honestly, just have a play. Just the colours are just beautiful. You can create some beautiful backgrounds with them, and it is just stunning. Right, Winker Stella, that's brand new, so I'll have to probably get the stuff down. If it doesn't come down quickly, I will pass on it, and I can show you the other card with them on. I don't want to bore you with trying to squeeze it out. Okay, so now I'm going to get some dimensionals. See, all the terminology's gone out of my head now after having a week off. I stopped just before Christmas and went, as I say, went away camping, etc. And I just decided I'm going to have a wee break. I certainly did miss it though. It was so lovely. The first thing I did when we got back is I opened the door to my craft room just to check it was still all there, which of course it was, but it was so lovely to see it again. And I had actually spent a little bit of time cleaning it up before I left. So the bonus was that it was even lovely, except obviously I cleaned it too much and I've thrown away my bee dye. Oh, I know. Oh well. I won't have any excuse really. I'll just have to manually cut them out, won't I? Okay. We will put one one here, here, and put one there. And there, well, that's where it landed, so it will go there. The other thing I cut out with the die was these flowers, which I showed you on the paper. So that whole sheet, I've used the bees and this flower just to add down here. And pretty. And the last thing I did on the cover here is I've used these gorgeous Peaceful Poppy sequins. Now these come with the poppies in the poppy suite, but you can buy them individually, and they are like flowers, little, don't know if you can see that, but little, some of them are, there's a variation, but this one, like, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a little flower. Very, very cute. So we're only wanting, I'm only going to use the silver ones. So I'm just going to pop, oh, there's one already there for me. A dot there, and a dot there. Then it's always a bit of a fiddle to get these on, but they look good. And that one there. I think I've actually got two on there, so we'll get rid of that one. And on the inside, now of course that would be all sparkly, the wings would be sparkly with the Wink of Stella. And I've just done a little bee. Beautiful stamp. I just love the detail. You can see that the detail on the wings, so fine. And I will colour that in. And done. We have made that card, so it is a little bit different from the other one. As I say, I used white on that one, so you can choose which one that you prefer. I just thought I'd do that one to show you the difference. Gold, or you could do black even. That's white. You could do black with gold inserts. The variation is just anything you'd like to do, basically. But a real must, this set. I just love it. It is so versatile, so many things you can do with it. And give those pigment sprinkles a go. You will absolutely love them. And I'd love to see any projects that you do. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And I really look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care. Happy crafting. Bye.